There comes a moment in life when pretending is no longer an option. Not because it's convenient, not because someone else said to stop, but because something inside breaks, like a chain snapping in the dark, and suddenly, the illusion of safety vanishes. Most people live like wind-up toys, predictable, caged in routines, addicted to comfort, and quietly terrified of their own potential. They smile for approval. They conform to avoid confrontation. They choose numbness over fire. But the most dangerous version of you? That version does not play nice with mediocrity. It doesn't explain itself. It doesn't beg for permission. It doesn't dilute power for the comfort of others. It rises, cold, calm, certain. It whispers through your bones, "I've walked through the fire, and I brought back the match." You want to become that version of yourself? Then listen closely. Because this is not about appearance. This is about becoming undeniable. Craft yourself like a living blade. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Zeno of Citium. Don't think of yourself as a person anymore. Think of yourself as a weapon being forged. Not a hammer, not a toy, not an ornament, but a blade. Not for violence, but for clarity, for precision, for dominance over your own direction. Weapons are not born sharp. They are heated, beaten, sharpened, refined. Every betrayal, that's the flame. Every lonely night spent working instead of numbing, that's the hammer. Every failure you chose to learn from instead of wallow in, that's the edge. The most dangerous version of you is not built in public. It's assembled in the dark. And when it's ready, the world doesn't get a warning. Only a shift in the air when you walk in the room. Starve the child. Feed the architect. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. There's a voice inside that screams for comfort, that craves sugar, attention, quick hits of validation. That voice is a child, a frightened little version of you that wants softness, wants guarantees, wants approval. But deeper still lives the architect, the one who builds, the one who designs discipline brick by brick, the one who watches the fire and doesn't blink. The dangerous version of you starves the child, not with cruelty, but with purpose, and feeds the architect with long-term vision, routine, and silence. Let others fall into softness. Let them whine. Let them scroll. Let them distract themselves into decay. You're constructing a cathedral of self-mastery, one quiet, focused action at a time. 3. Be the iceberg, silent, vast, and unmovable. The truly dangerous don't advertise power. They let it be felt. Anyone can shout. Anyone can flash credentials. Anyone can bluff. But the most dangerous version of you is like an iceberg. Only the tip is seen. The rest? Hidden. Massive. Ancient. Deadly. What people see. The calm tone. The focused eyes. The stillness. What they don't see. The years of repetition. The early mornings. Late nights. The confrontations with fear and self-sabotage. The hours mastering discomfort without recognition. The most dangerous version of you doesn't need applause. Doesn't crave explanation. It just is. Like thunder that doesn't ask permission to shake the ground. Harness your shadow. Turn monsters into servants. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living being. Seneca. Everyone has a shadow. That part of the self that hides all the things deemed too much. The rage, the envy, the pride, the shame, the obsession. Most bury it. They build a fragile identity on repression, hoping no one ever looks too closely. But the most dangerous version of you does something different. It sits in the dark with that shadow, listens, learns, tames it. The dangerous version says, "You do not control me, you serve me." Every ounce of repressed energy is potential power. The goal is not to erase the shadow. The goal is to integrate it, until even your darkness kneels to your command. Your rage becomes discipline. Your pride becomes precision. Your shame becomes focus. You don't run from the monster in the basement. You train it. And when the time comes, you ride it straight into battle. Train your mind like a silent operative. Forget the spa day meditation. That's not what we're doing here. This is reconnaissance. When the dangerous version of you sits in stillness, it is not to escape reality. It is to map it, to trace patterns, to track emotional sabotage, to intercept weak thinking before it takes root. This is stoic awareness, sharpened like a blade. I just had a thought. Is it useful, or is it poison in disguise? Each thought becomes a soldier in your army, or a traitor in your ranks. You must watch them all. No unexamined belief is allowed to grow. No wandering fear gets to lead. Every mental pattern is reviewed, refined, replaced if necessary. Because the dangerous version of you isn't a dreamer. They are a strategist. And every morning, they prepare for war. Speak with finality. Move with intention. The average person vomits words. They speak to fill silence. They speak to gain favor. They speak to convince themselves they matter. The most dangerous version of you does not need to speak to be known. Every sentence is carved from conviction. Every word drips with deliberation. They don't explain themselves. They embody themselves. You must begin to speak like each sentence is a sword. Speak in full stops. Speak from clarity, not reaction. And when you act, do so like it's already done. The world listens to power, not noise. Choose the blazing path, not the balanced one. Many are obsessed with balance, but balance is not always what's needed. Sometimes it is imbalance that transforms you. The most dangerous version of you doesn't obsess over equilibrium. They walk straight into the inferno of obsession when the mission demands it. They go all in, all hours, all energy, all attention, and they do not apologize for it. Let others talk about self-care while hiding from their calling. You know the truth. Purpose will burn, but so will mediocrity. The only difference is one sets you free. Lesson 1. Master the internal forge. Build yourself like a weapon. Core principle. You are not born dangerous. You are forged into it through hardship, discipline, and repetition. Every action either sharpens you or dulls you. There is no neutrality. Understanding the forge. Forging is violent. It's not elegant. It's not kind. It's not gentle. It's a process of intentional destruction, followed by deliberate reconstruction. In ancient weaponsmithing, the steel is heated until glowing, then hammered without mercy to refine its strength, beaten again and again to eliminate weakness, then plunged into water or oil to harden it permanently. That is not far from what becoming dangerous demands of you. The most dangerous version of you is not born from calm seas. It emerges from the controlled violence of self-mastery. Why most people stay dull. Most avoid this process because it hurts. They confuse comfort with safety. But in doing so, they remain soft, brittle, untested. What they don't realize is, the world will test you either way. You can either be forged intentionally through self-discipline, or be broken later by circumstances you weren't built to withstand. There's no third option. Practical forge strategies. Here's how you begin forging yourself every day, without needing permission, praise, or perfect conditions. 1. Create a morning ritual that makes you bleed comfort. Every day should begin with an act that kills softness. This isn't about punishment. It's about dominance over the weakest part of yourself. Cold showers, not for hygiene, for discipline. Early rising, not for productivity, for control. Physical exertion, not to look good, but to conquer resistance before the world wakes. Your morning is your private forge. No distractions, no applause, only fire. 2. Track the metal. Monitor your behaviors. Like a blacksmith. Tracks heat. Blacksmiths don't guess. They observe the glow, they test the edge, they check the temperature. You must do the same. Use a daily log. Did your actions today make you stronger or softer? Be honest. No emotion, just data. Rate your performance. On a scale from 1 to 10, how disciplined were you today? Adjust accordingly. Just like a weapon in the forge. If something bends, it gets reforged. You are not a static identity. You are a living prototype. 3. Rewrite your relationship with pain. Most people interpret pain as a signal to stop. But in the forge, pain is a language. It's how the blade communicates refinement. The dangerous version of you learns to decode pain. Physical pain in training. Proof of limits expanding. Emotional pain from rejection. Proof of courage to engage. Mental pain in discipline. Proof that you're not asleep anymore. Your ability to lean into pain, rather than escape it, is the dividing line between softness and steel. 4. Take inventory of weak points and strike them daily. Every blade has imperfections if left unattended. So does every mind, every habit, every belief system. You must become obsessed with identifying your current weaknesses, not to be ashamed, but to refine them. Ask yourself, where do I consistently lose focus? What patterns sabotage my consistency? What triggers emotional weakness? Then, design your daily behavior to attack them. If you always skip the hard task first, make it the first non-negotiable of your morning. If you always break discipline at night, set hard shutdown times, and strip away temptations. You are not fixing yourself. You are forging yourself. 5. Build a code. Your blade's inscription. The most dangerous version of you moves with silent conviction. Because it's built on a code. A weapon without a code is just a tool. A weapon with a code is a symbol. Create yours. 3 rules you do not break. No matter how tired, how scared, how tempted. 1 mission that frames your identity. Why do you train? What are you building yourself for? Etch it into your behavior. Etch it into your speech. Etch it into your posture. I do not lie to myself. I do not negotiate with weakness. I do not leave the day unfinished. These are not affirmations. They are vows. The Daily Forge Protocol. Every single day, enter the fire. Do something uncomfortable before sunrise. Hammer the weakness. Train. Focus. Execute. Cool the mind. Review. Journal. Reflect. Sharpen the edge. Learn something that refines you. Repeat. Day after day. Strike after strike. Until who you used to be is unrecognizable. Final note. Steel is remembered, not plastic. The truth is brutal. Plastic doesn't make it through battle. It melts under pressure. It breaks under weight. It looks good until it's tested. But steel lasts. Steel bends, but it doesn't break. Steel remembers the fire and thanks it. This world does not need more plastic people. It needs forged ones. Lesson 2. Starve the inner child. Feed the inner architect. Core principle. Inside each of us are two forces locked in constant combat. The inner child, impulsive, comfort-seeking, undisciplined. The inner architect, strategic, long-term, unshakable. One builds empires, the other sabotages them. If you want to become the most dangerous version of yourself, you must starve the child and feed the architect until your very identity is forged from vision, not reaction. The inner child is addicted to the now. The child wants everything, immediately. Comfort over struggle, applause over silence, dopamine over discipline, validation over growth. It is the part of you that gets anxious without your phone for 5 minutes. That scrolls for meaning instead of building it. That says, "I'll do it later," and then wonders why nothing ever changes. You can't reason with the child. You can't negotiate. You must starve it, strategically. The inner architect builds without applause. The architect doesn't care about feelings. It builds systems. It creates from vision. It doesn't seek motivation. It sets protocols. The architect watches the chaos and calmly says, "We'll handle it anyway." The architect is the reason some people seem invincible in the face of pressure. They've trained themselves to ignore noise and execute plans. That's who you must become. Practical strategies to starve the child and feed the architect. This transformation isn't dramatic. It's subtle, daily, brutal. Below is your blueprint. 1. Audit your dopamine diet. Cut the sugar from your soul. The child is addicted to cheap stimulation. And like any addiction, it makes you weaker over time. Instant replies, fast food, porn scrolling, empty praise, constant noise. Each hit seems harmless, but it rewires your nervous system to crave ease and reject effort. Implementation. Go on dopamine fasts. Pick 24 hours a week with no social media, no entertainment, just silence, work, and thought. Eliminate one high-stimulation habit per month. Replace it with a slow-burn behavior: reading, writing, long walks, deep work. Use the pause and observe method. When you feel the urge to distract, pause, observe, ask, "Is this the child or the architect?" Discipline is not deprivation, it's detox. 2. Build systems, not willpower. The architect doesn't rely on feeling like it. It builds processes that trigger action automatically. Most people fail because they rely on mood, but the dangerous version of you moves whether motivated or not. Implementation. Systemize your mornings. Wake, train, write, reflect. Same order, same time. Every single day. No variation. Batch your weak moments. If you know you fall apart at night, create a shutdown routine that protects your energy. Automate decision-making. Pre-plan meals, outfits, workouts, top 3 tasks. Reduce friction. Let routine carry you through resistance. The architect does not react. It programs reality. 3. Train your attention. Like a military sniper. The child's attention span is short, erratic, fragile. It chases. It flinches. It wanders. But the dangerous version of you must train attention like a sniper. Calm, locked in, and ruthless. Implementation. Use deep work blocks. 90-minute focus sessions with 0 interruptions. Track your time like a hawk. Silence all devices before working. No notifications, no tabs, no music with lyrics. Track your distractions. Every time you break focus, write it down. Review weekly. Eliminate the top 3 culprits. Attention is a weapon. Aim it. Reload it. Guard it. 4. Reject praise until the work is done. The child craves praise. It wants applause after the first step. But praise too early kills momentum. The architect doesn't celebrate for starting. It only celebrates after building. Implementation. Keep your goals private. Share less. Build more. When praised too soon, downplay it internally. Say to yourself, not yet. Celebrate outcomes, not intentions. You don't get rewarded for having a vision, only for finishing. External validation is a drug. Sobriety begins with silence. 5. Delay gratification with precision. Every time you delay gratification, you train yourself to become stronger than impulse. The dangerous version of you doesn't just delay, it delays with purpose. Implementation. Use reward stacking. Work first, then reward. No exceptions. Push small wins further. Want to quit your workout at 40 minutes? Push to 45. Push to 50. Train the brain to endure longer than it expects. Develop earned rituals. Only drink your favorite coffee after hitting a deep work target. Only allow Netflix after building something. The child wants candy now. The architect waits and builds the factory. 6. Redefine fulfillment as progress, not pleasure. The child equates happiness with feeling good, but that's fleeting. The architect equates fulfillment with alignment, with building what matters, with showing up to the blueprint. Dangerous people do not chase feeling good. They chase building something unshakable. Implementation. Write your blueprint. What does your future require from you today? Who do you need to become to earn it? Track progress weekly, not by feelings, but by execution. Reflect nightly. Ask, did I serve the child today or the architect? The child wants comfort now. The architect is designing a life so powerful, comfort becomes irrelevant. Final reflection, the war between two selves. Every day is a decision. Every action feeds one of the two. The child screams. The architect builds. The child avoids. The architect executes. The child explains. The architect produces. And here's the cold truth. The world rewards the architect, but it exploits the child. Choose wisely, because the dangerous version of you, they no longer argue with the child. They starve it. They outgrow it. And they let the architect build a future so powerful, even the child falls silent in awe. Let the building begin. Lesson 3. Silence the noise. Become the iceberg. Core principle. True power is not loud. It does not posture. It does not seek the spotlight. It is deep, quiet, cold, and unshakable. The most dangerous version of you is not constantly performing. They are still, but that stillness carries weight. The iceberg metaphor. Think of an iceberg. Only 10% is visible above the surface. The rest, massive, ancient, untouchable, lurks beneath, unseen. That's you, or at least, the version of you that's being forged. The visible part is calm demeanor, strategic speech, steady execution, quiet confidence. But what no one sees is the daily battles with fear, the hours spent in solitude, building, the dark nights of doubt overcome, the relentless inner work. You don't broadcast your struggle. You embed it into your foundation. And that's what makes you terrifying without trying. Why loudness is a weakness. Insecurity screams. Power whispers. The loud, over-explaining, look-at-me behavior is the flailing of someone who hasn't yet built depth. It's armor made of cardboard, intimidating only to those who can't see past the surface. Dangerous people don't sell their identity. they embody it. You must become a walking contradiction. Still, yet forceful. Quiet, yet thunderous. Invisible, yet unforgettable. Strategies to build iceberg-level power. This is not about hiding. This is about building so deep that your silence becomes a language of its own. Here's how to craft your presence to carry undeniable gravity. 1. Develop a code of quiet. The first layer of the iceberg is discipline over expression. You don't need to announce what you're working on. You don't need to justify your decisions. You don't need to defend your vision. Every time you speak prematurely, you leak power. Implementation. Private goals. Public silence. Choose one major goal. Say nothing. Build relentlessly. Limit self-explanation. Practice letting your no be a full sentence. Avoid the trap of emotional broadcasting. Don't share every internal wave. Document it privately. Move through it. Let them feel the results later. Mystery is leverage. When people don't know your full depth, they're forced to respect your presence. Second shift. From performance to presence. The world is full of performers. They need applause to feel real. You must become the opposite. You don't perform. You project, without needing permission. Presence is about occupying space without asking for it. Implementation. Practice silence in groups. Observe. Say only what matters. Watch how silence builds anticipation. Lower your voice when speaking. Calm is magnetic. Stillness is intimidating. Train neutral face posture. Don't telegraph your emotions to the world. Not everything needs to be expressed. Stillness is not passive. It's loaded. 3. Create invisible work habits. The iceberg grows where no one sees it. Dangerous people work in silence. They don't chase recognition. They train when no one's watching. They plant seeds in the dark. Implementation. Set 2 ghost hours each day. Time where you disappear from the world and build something meaningful. Log your silent wins. Track every workout, every journal, every study session. Not for show, for self. Build long-term projects with no external validation. Master something no one knows you're working on. By the time they see the results, it's too late to catch up. 4. Train emotional stillness. Control the ripple. The ocean doesn't tremble from a pebble. Neither should you. Emotionally reactive people are manipulated easily. They are readable, predictable, weak. You want to become unreadable, so calm under pressure that your very lack of reaction becomes intimidating. Implementation. Practice emotional neutrality in daily life. Delay your reactions. Let the moment pass. Respond only with intention. Journal emotional triggers. Study them. Don't judge them. Train them. Study stoic calm. Ask yourself, what am I in control of right now? Then move only within that frame. If others can control your reaction, they control your destiny. 5. Build psychological weight through repetition. You don't need to be loud to be remembered. You need to be consistent. Like a drumbeat in the distance, unseen, but felt. Consistency builds an aura. People begin to sense you're on a different path. They may not know what you're doing, but they'll feel the distance growing. Implementation. Pick one habit to repeat daily for 100 days. Something foundational. Writing, training, meditating, studying. Don't skip, ever. Even on your worst days. Especially then. Track it. Review it. Double down. This is how the iceberg grows under the surface. Slow, steady, inevitable. You become dangerous not by what you say, but by what you repeat without needing applause. 6. Reduce access. Build rarity. The less accessible you are, the more potent your presence becomes. Not out of arrogance, but because your energy has become expensive. You've trained it. You've built it. You've suffered for it. You don't throw it around casually anymore. Implementation. Limit who has access to your mind. Audit who you speak with, who you allow into your space, who earns your time. Move with intention. Be where you're needed, not where you're expected. Become the person whose presence means something. When you speak, people listen because you've made them wait. Rarity creates demand. Demand creates weight. Weight creates power. Closing reflection. The still storm beneath. People may not understand you. That's the point. They may underestimate you. Good. They may try to categorize you. Let them. Because while they talk, you build. While they perform, you prepare. While they explain, you become. You are the iceberg. The depth they can't see. The force they can't predict. The danger they never saw coming. So stay quiet. Stay still. Stay cold. Because when the time comes to rise from the deep, the world will remember what stillness was hiding. Let them chatter. You're becoming unfathomable. Lesson 4. Harness the shadow. Transmute darkness into power. Core principle. Within each of us exists a shadow. Not evil, not broken, just ignored. The dangerous version of you does not run from this darkness. They learn to own it, command it, and turn it into fuel. This is the art of psychological alchemy, taking the parts of yourself that others suppress and reforging them into weapons of purpose. The shadow is not your enemy. It's your untapped arsenal. The world will tell you to ignore your anger, to suppress your envy, to deny your ambition, to hide your hunger. But Stoic wisdom teaches the opposite. Not indulgence, not denial, but awareness, transformation, and mastery. If you wish to be free, do not wish for things to be as you would like them. Wish for them to be exactly as they are. Epictetus. In other words, know thyself fully, including the parts that scare you. The person who fears their own shadow can be manipulated by it. The one who commands it becomes unstoppable. Why most people stay powerless. Most people are walking glass masks, trying to appear good, innocent, agreeable, while burying their chaos deep within. But here's the truth. What you suppress doesn't disappear. It mutates. It sabotages. It whispers behind your decisions. It shapes your fears. It bleeds into your relationships and goals. What you refuse to face rules you from the dark. The dangerous version of you makes the decision to bring it into the light, not to destroy it, but to train it. The anatomy of the shadow. Your shadow is made of repressed rage, the part of you that was told anger is dangerous. Buried ambition, the part of you that craved greatness, but was shamed for wanting more. Unhealed shame, the part of you frozen in past failures and self-blame. Forbidden hunger, the desires you were told were too much, too intense, too abnormal. These aren't defects. They are raw energy. Unfocused, they will burn you. Directed, they will fuel you like jet fire. Strategies to harness the shadow and turn it into power. First, stop denying. Start dissecting. The first act of power is to see the shadow without flinching. You must look directly at what you've been trying to avoid. What enrages you? What shames you? What would you do if no one judged you? These are not signs of brokenness. They are signs of where your power lives. If you're brave enough to hold the mirror steady. Implementation. Begin shadow journaling. Write 1 page a day answering this. What part of me am I afraid of others seeing? Ask the question no one asks. Where am I pretending to be good instead of being real? Study your envy. Envy reveals suppressed ambition. What you envy is what you secretly believe you deserve. The goal is not to shame your darkness, but to study it like a general studies a battlefield. 2. Transform your rage into relentless discipline. Anger is not the enemy. Undirected anger is. Rage at the world, at yourself, at betrayal, at injustice. Good. But instead of exploding, channel it. Let it make your habits ruthless. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it build the version of you they hoped would stay buried. Implementation. Create a training ritual tied to emotion. When anger hits, you don't scroll. You don't vent. You train. Repeat this phrase in moments of fire. This is fuel, nothing more. I decide what burns. Use anger to power boundaries. Set hard rules around what you allow in your life. Let rage build structure, not chaos. You're not trying to calm down. You're trying to convert combustion into construction. 3. Turn shame into precision. Shame left unexamined creates self-sabotage. But when faced directly, it becomes a scalpel. It shows you where the wounds are, where the lies were planted, where the armor needs reinforcement. Dangerous people don't hide from shame. They interrogate it. Implementation. Trace every recurring failure back to the emotion behind it. Most repeated mistakes are shame loops. Ask, whose voice is this shame really? Often it's not yours. It's inherited. Rejected beliefs. From childhood, teachers, old lovers, society. Reframe it with this affirmation. Shame shows me what I haven't yet mastered. That's not weakness. That's my next weapon. Precision comes from knowing your internal landscape like a surgeon, not a victim. 4. Direct ambition. Like a laser, not a flood. Ambition is holy, but untamed ambition becomes scattered craving. The dangerous version of you does not want everything. They want one thing at a time, completely. They learn to wield ambition like a scalpel, not a fire hose. Implementation. Set a single obsession every 90 days. No distractions. Let all ambition converge on it. Use the vow method. Write one sentence. I will become X, no matter what burns. Revisit it daily. Cut off secondary desires. Every yes must serve the mission. Otherwise, it's a leak. A shadow armed with purpose becomes a force of nature. Without it, it's just a storm. 5. Develop a relationship with the monster beneath. The goal is not to kill your darkness, it's to train it. Like a beast in a cage, your shadow must know you're in command. You don't fear it. You ride it. Implementation. Visualize your shadow self daily, not as an enemy, but as a separate part of you sitting across the table. Ask it, what are you here to teach me today? Give it a job. Rage, use it for reps. Lust, use it for creation. Insecurity, use it for obsession with mastery. Keep it close, but leashed. You are the rider. It is the horse. Untrained monsters destroy. Trained monsters protect the kingdom. 6. Integrate. Don't separate. You will not ascend by slicing off your darker sides. You rise when you integrate every part of yourself into one unbreakable identity. The goal is not to become pure. The goal is to become complete. Implementation. Create your personal code of power. Include both light and dark values, e.g., mercy and speech, brutality and discipline. Embody duality. You can be soft to the weak and relentless with yourself. You can love deeply and still never tolerate disrespect. Repeat this truth daily. I am not here to be perfect. I am here to be whole. Integrated people cannot be threatened, because nothing in them is hidden anymore. Closing reflection. The monster in the mirror. If you're still afraid of your own fire, you'll never control it. The most dangerous version of you does not chase purity. They chase power. Balanced, controlled, conscious, but not restrained. You're not here to be a saint. You're here to be sovereign, a kingdom unto yourself, with rage that serves purpose, with shame that sharpens awareness, with ambition that builds legacies, with desire that obeys direction. The shadow was never your curse. It was your birthright, waiting for the day you became strong enough to wield it. Today is that day. So don't kill your monster. Put a crown on its head. Put a sword in its hand, and lead it into destiny. Lesson 5. Train the mind like a warrior monk. Core principle. Your mind is either your greatest ally or your silent executioner. If left untrained, it betrays you. If forged with discipline, it becomes a fortress of precision and power. To become the most dangerous version of yourself, you must stop treating the mind like a pet and start training it like a weapon. Why the mind becomes the weakest link. The average person's mind is a chaotic tavern of noise. They wake up, and thoughts pour in like drunks slamming chairs. Uninvited, emotional, impulsive. They react. They overthink. They create scenarios that don't exist. They spiral into anxiety, envy, comparison, regret. And then they wonder why they lack power. But the dangerous version of you? They treat the mind like a battlefield, not a garden, not a playground. A field of operations where only the useful survives. The Stoics didn't try to feel good. They trained themselves to see clearly, no matter how uncomfortable the truth was. Your mind as a weapon system. You must approach your mind like a warrior monk, disciplined like a soldier, detached like a sage, ruthless like a strategist, quiet like a storm about to break. This version of you doesn't allow rogue thoughts to linger. They interrogate every belief. They command focus. They observe emotion without identification. Strategies to train the mind like a warrior monk. Here's how to reforge your inner world until your thoughts obey you. 1. Begin daily reconnaissance. Mind scan ritual. Every morning, the warrior monk wakes up and scans the battlefield. They do not let the day begin without first checking who is inside the walls of their own mind. Is doubt hiding behind the curtain? Is fear trying to disguise itself as caution? Is apathy whispering lullabies? You can't fight what you don't see. Implementation. Every morning, sit in silence for 10 minutes. No music, no phone, no distractions, just observation. Write down every dominant thought. Don't judge them. Track them. Ask, who is speaking, me or my programming? Separate the conscious from the conditioned. A warrior doesn't march into war blind. They survey the terrain first. 2. Discipline the narrative. Command the voice in your head. Your internal dialogue is either building a kingdom or burning it down. Most people allow their mind to narrate in weakness. I can't. What if it goes wrong? I'll never be enough. They probably think, this isn't thought, it's mental rot. You must replace it with precision speech, not toxic positivity, not delusion, but directive, coded instructions. Implementation. Develop command phrases, short, cold, clear mantras that direct behavior. We finish what we start. One more rep. No mercy. Feel it, then execute anyway. Correct negative thoughts in real time. When weakness speaks, interrupt it like a drill sergeant. You don't speak to yourself like a friend. You speak like a commander transmitting to a unit under fire. 3. Build mental stillness. Don't just calm the mind, train it to obey. Stillness isn't about sitting peacefully. It's about creating command space in your inner world. Mental stillness means that when pressure hits, you don't flinch. You pause. You observe. You strike intentionally. This is the Stoic ideal: clarity under chaos. Implementation. Practice response delay. When triggered emotionally, wait 10 seconds before responding. Train the gap between stimulus and reaction. Use breath control as override. 4 seconds in. 4 seconds hold. 6 seconds out. This neutralizes fight or flight. Do stillness drills. Sit completely still for 15 minutes a day. No movement. No distractions. Let the discomfort teach you where your control ends. Stillness isn't weakness. It's aiming before firing. 4. Filter information. Like a fortress gatekeeper, your mind becomes what it consumes, and every piece of information is either a soldier or a saboteur. The warrior monk does not scroll mindlessly. They selectively consume what builds focus, power, and strategic insight. Implementation. Limit content intake to builders only. Books, speeches, training material. No junk, no gossip, no fluff. Use the 5-to-1 rule. For every hour of input, produce 5 hours of output. Read less, apply more. Guard your inputs like sacred ground. You are the gatekeeper. Every headline, every song, every conversation, approved or denied. Weak minds are open cities. Dangerous minds are fortified. 5. Burn false beliefs in public view. Then replace them with proof. Beliefs become prisons, but only if left unchallenged. A warrior monk destroys one outdated belief a week, then replaces it with demonstrated truth. Implementation. Identify one limiting belief. I'm not a morning person. I always procrastinate. I'm bad with money. Challenge it with action. Prove it wrong today. Not with theory, but with behavior. Replace it with an earned identity. I train while others sleep. I build discipline 1 rep at a time. Beliefs must be earned, not inherited. 6. Mental conditioning drills. Pressure tests the mind. Just as muscles grow from resistance, your mind becomes formidable through applied discomfort. Comfort is the enemy of precision. Deliberate resistance is the curriculum. Implementation. Daily friction drill. Do one uncomfortable task each day. Cold shower, brutal workout, difficult conversation. Make it a ritual. Weekly isolation challenge. 1 hour per week. No phone, no music, no company. Just your thoughts. Face them. Master them. Mental fatigue training. After a long day, instead of checking out, check in. Do a deep task while tired. Train the override. A mind that bends under pressure has never trained under it. Final reflection. Master of the inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius called it the inner citadel, the sacred stronghold inside you that no one can touch. That is what you're building. Most people live in glass houses of thought, shattered by every opinion, swayed by every emotion, crushed by every setback. But you're building walls that don't crack, a mind that obeys its master, thoughts that kneel to direction. This is how you become dangers in a way they'll never understand. Not because you yell, not because you dominate, but because when others panic, you are still. Because when chaos rises, you are calculating. Because when weakness enters the room, your mind becomes a sword, drawn, silent, and precise. So train, observe, sharpen, and when your moment comes, strike with clarity that no emotion can shake, because your mind will not ask permission. It will only execute. Welcome to the mental warpath. Lesson 6. Move with ruthless purpose. Speak with finality. Core principle. The most dangerous version of you is not random, not reactionary, not scattered. They move with intention. They speak with finality. Every word, every step, is chosen with the weight of a blade being drawn. They don't ramble. They declare. They don't drift. They decide. The world respects precision, and precision only comes from internal authority. Why most people drift powerlessly. The average person's life is a fog of unspoken fears, half-hearted efforts, and vague direction. They don't commit to goals, they kinda try. They don't speak with clarity. They mumble, soften, justify. They don't act with weight. They procrastinate, question, restart, quit. They fear commitment because commitment makes you visible. And being visible means being accountable. And being accountable means one terrifying truth. You no longer have excuses. But that's exactly where power is born. Purpose is not a feeling. It's a sword. You don't wait to feel purposeful. You choose purpose like you would choose a weapon before battle. You grip it. You sharpen it. You carry it into every room. And you wield it without apology. Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. In other words, stop talking. Start being. Stop theorizing. Start cutting. Strategies to move with ruthless purpose and speak with finality. This is how you build a life that moves like a war machine. Silent, direct, unavoidable. 1. Build an internal operating system. iOS, your code of execution. Before you can move with purpose, you must have a personal operating system. A code of action that governs your behavior without hesitation. No more asking, should I do this? If it aligns with your code, you do it. If it doesn't, you don't. Implementation. Write a 3-rule code. Example, I do not hesitate. I protect my time like a fortress. I finish everything I start. Review your code daily. Tattoo it into your mind. Let it lead before emotion can interfere. Use binary thinking. Every action is either aligned or it's not. If it's not, cut it off. Power is not in knowing what to do. It's in removing anything that doesn't fit. 2. Cut out language. That weakens your authority. Every time you say, I think, maybe, I'll try, I hope, you train your mind to move with uncertainty. You weaken your presence. Dangerous individuals remove indecision from their speech. Their words are carved, not scribbled. Their sentences close like steel doors. Implementation. Ban weak phrases from your vocabulary. Replace I'll try with I will. Replace I think with I know, or here's the plan. Practice verbal sparsity. Say less. Mean more. Deliver statements as decisions. Speak like you've already acted. Your words are weapons. Stop swinging them like twigs. 3. Take immediate action or cut it completely. If you could do something in 2 minutes, do it now. If it takes longer, schedule it. If it doesn't serve your mission, delete it. You are not here to negotiate with inertia. You are here to move. Implementation. Adopt the now or never rule. If something sits in your mind more than twice, act on it or remove it. Use task triage. Every night, choose 3 high-leverage tasks for the next day. No more, no less. Create a no list. Write down every recurring behavior that leads to nothing. Review it weekly. Eliminate with 0 guilt. If you wouldn't die for it, why are you doing it? Fourth schedule. Like a warlord. Guard time like territory. Random people, random tasks, random scrolling. All of it steals your life. The most dangerous version of you protects time, like a general protects supply lines. Nothing unworthy passes through. Implementation. Time block everything. Your focus is sacred. If it's not scheduled, it's chaos. Silence your phone before deep work. No exceptions, no excuses. Your mission needs undivided attention. Audit your calendar weekly. Where did time go? Did it serve you or sedate you? Time is the battlefield. Either you command it, or you're slaughtered by distraction. 5. Master the art of non-negotiable execution. Discipline is not about trying hard. It's about removing the option to opt out. You don't show up because you feel like it. You show up because it's what you do. The dangerous version of you shows up even when it's uncomfortable. It's thankless. No one is watching, because identity is formed when no one's clapping. Implementation. Build streaks. 100 days of cold showers. 100 days of training. No exceptions. Streaks build identity faster than motivation. Create no exit contracts. Tie your goals to consequences. Example. If I skip the gym, I donate to a cause I despise. Stop giving yourself outs. Eliminate the phrase just this once. That's how entire legacies are lost. There is no debate when the mission is engraved into your identity. 6. Deliver pressure with your presence. When the dangerous version of you walks into a room, people feel it. Not because you yell, not because you flaunt, because you know exactly who you are, why you're here, and what you're building. That presence can't be faked. It's built through years of decisive movement and unwavering clarity. Implementation. Walk slower. Stand taller. Move with precision. Every movement should signal direction, not doubt. Make eye contact without fear or aggression. You're not challenging. You're just unshakable. Let silence do the talking. Pausing before you speak creates tension. Own the pause. Your presence becomes power when everything you do is aligned with purpose. Final reflection. Your word is the blade. Your steps are the strike. You don't need more plans. You need decisiveness. You don't need more motivation. You need mission. You don't need more opinions. You need action that doesn't flinch. The most dangerous version of you doesn't hope for change. They create it. They embody it. They enforce it. Every step is chosen. Every word is final. Every action is a declaration that says, I am not here to try. I am here to conquer. So move. Decide. Speak like you mean it. And never apologize for knowing exactly where you're going. The fog clears for those who cut through it with purpose. To the returning GrimFace warriors, we see you, we respect you, and we thank you. You've chosen the harder path, the path of silence, discipline, and honor. While the world chooses comfort, noise, and excuses, you didn't just listen. You showed up. You marched deeper into the fire. And for that, you carry the mark of the few who refuse to kneel. To the new viewers, if something in this message stirred something ancient inside of you, if the words didn't just speak to you, but from you, then this isn't just another channel. This is your signal, a call to rise, to remember who you are beneath the layers of fear and distraction, to reclaim your edge, to build the most disciplined, dangerous, undeniable version of yourself. This is more than content. This is a code. Join the GrimFace movement. Subscribe, Commit, and begin the war within. No more soft living, no more false identities. Only fire, clarity, and forward motion. Love, honor, respect. We are GrimFace, and we are just getting started.